Your job as tree planter is the final and most important job when it comes to ensuring a strong, healthy forest. With the proper care and handling of these tiny seedlings, they will grow up to be large, beautiful trees like these. These trees were planted 25 years ago. The uniform rows and almost perfect shapes of each tree are due in part to being planted properly and in the right location. It does not matter where you are planting. If the trees are cared for properly before planting and are then planted in the ground at the right depth and the right distance from each other, any forest you plant should grow up to look like this. Or this. This is a hardwood forest. The planting techniques are basically the same for hardwoods as they are for pine trees. Whether you are planting in the sandy soil of the coastal plains, the blocky clay of the Piedmont, or on a mountain slope, tree seedlings should be planted the same way. From trees planted in old fields to those planted in previously harvested stands, the trees must be planted correctly. In this video, we will briefly discuss where the tree seedlings come from. We will then tell you how the seedlings should be handled and cared for on site. Then we will show you the proper way to plant these seedlings. We will also give you tips on how to protect yourself from possible injuries while performing the duties of this physically demanding job. Using this information when you are planting will ensure that a magnificent future forest will prosper. First, let's talk about where tree seedlings come from. The seedlings initially start out as little seeds like this. Thousands of seeds are produced and collected in special forests called orchards. Only the best trees are chosen to provide seed. These trees are given special care. When the pine trees begin to produce pine cones, the cones are removed from the trees and dried. These seeds are then removed from the dried cones and sent to a nursery. Hardwood seeds are removed in much of the same way. At the nursery, the seeds are carefully planted in healthy soil and given just the right amount of food and water. Eventually, the seeds sprout and become seedlings. Once the seeds are old enough and strong enough, they are removed from the field and a machine called a lifter. The lifter gently lifts the seedlings from the ground and shakes off any loose dirt. Workers then quickly carry the seedlings away to be sorted and packaged. Before they are packaged, the seedlings are sometimes dipped in a gel that protects them from drying out. You may find this gel on your seedlings when you are planting. It is not harmful to you, and it is essential for providing moisture to the seedlings during storage. The seedlings are then dipped and packaged. Then they are transferred to a cold storage area. The cold keeps heat from generating within the seedling packages and spoiling the seedlings. Notice the care taken when stacking the seedlings. They are never stacked more than 2 or 3 on top of each other unless they have a divider between them. This allows the air to circulate, helping them to keep cool. When the trees are ready to be shipped to the field, they are carefully stacked in a truck and sent on their way. Some seedlings are sent in a refrigerated truck, just like the building in which they had been stored. Only the number of seedlings that can be planted in a day should be brought to the planting site. If too many seedlings are brought and they cannot be returned to cold storage that same evening, they should be carefully wrapped with a tarp to protect them from the elements. These seedlings should be the first ones planted the following day. The seedlings are sometimes packaged 1,000 seedlings to the bag and can be quite heavy. Be careful when lifting them. Place the seedlings in a shady location and protect them from sun, wind, and rain. The most ideal situation would be to protect them with a special tarp that would reflect the heat of the sun and shield them from the wind. If a tarp is not an option, then be sure to place them somewhere that, as the day progresses and the sun moves, they will always be in the shade. Once delivered, your seedlings may be either in bales, bags, or boxes. Be careful when opening the package not to cut yourself or the seedlings. And always remember to close the package after you fill up your planting bag. You don't want the seedlings that are left in the package to dry out while you're planting. If, for example, a bag is torn, transfer the seedlings from that bag to another one that can be closed, so that the seedlings will continue to be protected. Now that we know how to handle the seedling packages, we need to learn how to handle the seedlings. When you get your seedlings out of the package, you will find that some of the roots have gotten tangled up with each other and the seedlings might be difficult to separate. Don't tear them apart. You could destroy the roots. These roots are vital to the survival of the tree. Gently separate the seedlings. Before you put them in your bag, inspect the seedlings to make sure you are planting healthy trees. If the seedlings haven't been stored properly, or if they have been stored for too long, they could be moldy and brittle. Don't plant these. And don't plant seedlings with roots that appear dry or have turned black. Black root systems are a sign of having been frozen. A frozen seedling is a dead seedling. You also don't want to plant seedlings that have a white fuzzy fungus growing on them. If you remember, some nurseries dip the seedlings in a gel to keep them from drying out. If they were not dipped at the nursery, you should dip them before placing them in your bag. Everyone should have a planting bag. This is what you will carry your seedlings in as you walk through the field. Keep the inside of your bag clean by removing moss, mud, or excess gel that can accumulate in it. Never carry the seedlings in your hands. This will dry them out by exposing them to the wind and sun. Place your seedlings carefully in your bag. Before you begin planting, you want to be sure that you are ready. You have your planting tool, your gloves, your long sleeve shirt, your tear-resistant pants, your bag, and your seedlings. The one thing you haven't done is to prepare your body for the rigors of a hard day's work of planting. It might seem like a minor thing, but if you aren't ready for physical exertion, you could hurt yourself and be out of work for a few days, or more. You should stretch your legs, backs, and arms at the beginning and at the end of each day. Stretching before work warms up your muscles so that you will be less likely to strain them, and stretching afterwards allows them to relax and cool down. Now it's time to start planning.